All right. So, my first question is, from coaching in the Metro League for as many years as you have, what players have you coached or gone against that would be considered special to you?
The hard part is, particularly from the standpoint of the young men that I've coached, all of them are special to me. Um, some are more talented than others. Some go on to play college basketball. Some don't. Been blessed to coach a couple of young men that made it to the NBA, and probably one more coming up at the very least. Those things are cool, they're fun, but it's more about the relationships in between in terms of off the court that kind of makes things special with your guys.
Okay, okay. And so now, sort of on to the 2019 team as a whole. Were there any specific games that year that surprised you, or any of the games that were not the greatest that you sort of played that you wish you could have gone back on and changed?
Uh, the hard part is I'm getting old, Drew. So a lot of times you don't even really remember what the schedule was when you start getting a couple of years away. It was definitely a group that had to grow and develop as time went along. And each game that passed, they got a little bit better. And I think for the most part, that group was really young, if you think about it. A lot of sophomores that were playing real significant minutes and doing some of those really high end things that usually come from a junior or senior. I think the Linden game when we traveled up there sticks out in my mind. They absolutely throttled us, and I think really kind of woke us up a little bit in terms of before we headed down to San Diego. Had that scary moment in San Diego when Paulo got flipped and bounced his head off the floor, and I think that helped us as well. He was healthy and whatnot, but guys having to play without him, it was kind of a big growing experience for them for a couple of games that we had to do. But I think for the most part, the ending of it, the tournament itself, going through the way that we did and being able to play Mount Spokane in the championship, it kind of all came together at the right time.
Okay, okay. And as you mentioned, the Linden game and the couple games in San Diego where you and past that without Paulo, how did your team rebound from those games and go on to win the state championship that year and play a lot better?
Well, I think they were honest with themselves and honest with each other. Kind of held each other accountable and themselves accountable for the areas they had to get better at. Whether that was at the offensive end or the defensive end, and that honesty is what allows any individual or team to grow to a level that they need to be at to win a championship.
Okay. As we know, I mean, on most teams, there's that one guy that's considered the leader on that team. On that 2019 team, if you had to pick one guy, who would you pick to be the leader of that team?
I don't think you could. The funny thing is there were a number of different leaders in different ways. Obviously, Paulo and Noah went back and forth in terms of who was maybe being the vocal leader, but you had other guys like, Paul Johnson and even John C. for that matter, in terms of his leadership of being unselfish in the way that he cheered on his team when he was out hurt. It's just a lot of different guys that filled different roles, whether they were leading by example or being vocal in terms of where their leadership came from.
Okay, all right. And my last question, what was the feeling like winning the state championship?
I've gotten better at it each time that we've had the opportunity. This one was pretty fun because I got to take a step back while they all ran onto the court and celebrated and really just watch them, have a blast out there and being able to celebrate their accomplishments. It becomes a whirlwind of 10 minutes where everybody's trying to pull you and tug you in different directions to say hi or congratulations or interview you or whatever. So I was able to find that first 5 or 6 minutes to just take it all in and enjoy it. And and take a deep breath and know that I was going to finally be able to get some sleep that night.
All right, all right. Well, thank you, Coach, for having this interview. This is a huge help for my project. It should be up probably in about a month or so. I'll see how it goes with my other interviews we got going on. But overall, just thank you. This is a big help.
You bet. No problem.
Yep.
Yep.